Hello everyone, my name's Argonaut, and in this video we're going to be doing something a little bit different today. So far, I've looked back and talked about all the main classic Sonic games, and while I'm busy working on my Sonic Adventure video, I thought it'd be fun to rank all the classic ones I've looked at so far. Now, before I begin, I'd like to say my list might not necessarily agree with yours, and of course I'm not some type of all-seeing authority on how Sonic games should be. I'm just simply ranking them by how much fun I had and how quickly I'd go back to replay them. Also, I tend to use Amy when I play Sonic games, so expect to see a lot of Amy in the footage, but with that being said, let's now hop right into it. Coming up at the bottom of our list would be Sonic 4 Episode 1. I'm including Sonic 4 in this list because, while it may have used the modern sprites of the characters, it had a classic style. But for this game, it wasn't the worst thing ever while I played it, but it felt like a lazy reimagining of the first game with pretty much the same zones and bosses, both messed up physics on top, and the game only had 4 zones, and with a hefty $15 price tag, I just don't think it was worth it. I will always and forever hate that they called this game Sonic 4 instead of Sonic Reimagined or, well, anything else. Next up on our list is Sonic 1, the game that started it all. Now, keep in mind, I really like Sonic 1. It's not this low because it's bad, it's just this low because the games after it basically took what this game did and added onto it. The physics were fun, the bosses were basic but yet fun, you could collect the 6 Chaos Emeralds for added replayability. There's not much else to say here, so let's move on. Now, originally I had this next game up one spot higher, but actually changed it at the last second. But next up on our list is Sonic 4 Episode 2. It actually really surprised me just how much I enjoyed Episode 2. The physics from Episode 1 were fixed, I enjoyed the team-ups with Tails and how you just couldn't straightforwardly fight bosses. I really liked that Tails didn't affect the special stages. All the stages felt new and unique, and this game even brought back classic Metal Sonic, who, not counting Generations, we haven't seen for over a decade. And this game even had an online co-op mode, which is still up and running today. The main thing I didn't like was how some of the bosses had these long sequences that you'd have to go through before you could actually attack them, but besides that, by the time I finished Episode 2, I found myself actually wishing that Episode 3 didn't get cancelled. I always feel like Episode 1 just did too much damage to repair. Next up on our list would be Sonic 2. This game improved upon everything that the first one did. Bigger stages, they removed Sonic's speed cap, which I didn't even know he had in the first game, along with adding Tails, Sonic's super form, and what's probably one of the hardest last bosses in a classic Sonic game with the Death Egg robot. It even had silent storytelling with the end cutscenes, and also had couch co-op. The only thing I didn't like about this game were the special stages while having Tails with you. Those were just a nightmare. But besides that, you'd never be able to tell that this game was also made by 2 different teams that couldn't stand each other. Next up on our list, and this may surprise you all, but we have Sonic Superstars. Where I'm surprised at how high Sonic 4 Episode 2 almost was on my list, I'm equally surprised at how low Sonic Superstars ended up. Now, there are a lot of things that I like about Superstars. The new look, the new character, the fact that Chaos Emeralds have individual powers now, even some of the level gimmicks like cyberspace. But what really brought this game down for me was Trip's story. Having to replay all the levels you just did, both difficulty balancing thrown out the window, just left me feeling burnt out. And keep in mind, I think the main game had damn near the perfect difficulty. But I really had to force myself through Trip's story, and it's the last thing that sticks with me after finishing the game. If not for that being a part of this game, Superstars probably would have come in possibly 2nd or 3rd place on this list for me. Moving on, up next on our list is Sonic CD. What would start off as a Sonic 1 remake to help push the Sega CD would grow to become its own unique game. If you were to ask me a few years back, this easily would have been my #1 game out of all the classic Sonic titles, but hey, opinions change. I loved that this game focused around exploration. If you wanted to, you could run through this whole game in about 30 minutes, but it was about exploring and using time travel to find what you needed. Not to mention, Metal Sonic, who'd go on to become Sonic's most popular robotic doppelganger, was introduced in this game along with Amy. And this game had these cool anime cutscenes in it. And to top it all off, this game has arguably the best soundtrack out of any game in the Sonic franchise. I just freaking love Sonic CD, and I'm always grateful that this game wasn't forgotten about. Next up on our list, we have Sonic 3. And when I say Sonic 3, I'm also including Sonic & Knuckles, since, it's supposed to be one game. This was definitely Sonic Team's most ambitious project at the time, being split into 2 separate games due to the sheer size of it, as well as, the McDonald's promotion. And this game just had so much to it. Huge levels, along with hidden Special Zone rings that force you to explore them. Tails didn't get in the way during the Special Zones this time anymore. And being the only game to have Hypersonic in it with the Super Emeralds. Not to mention introducing Knuckles to the franchise, this game had even better silent storytelling than Sonic 2 did, as well as adding the elemental shields to it, even being the first time you get an extra level with Supersonic. And to top off our list, this shouldn't be a surprise to anyone, but we have Sonic Mania. At a time when Sega assumed people weren't interested in classic Sonic anymore, they basically let a whole bunch of fan devs create their own Sonic game. And it did so well that we got Sonic Superstars from it. But Sonic Mania brought back the best parts of the classic games and then added some of its own flair to it. Reimagined versions of classic levels, as well as adding their own original ones that were just as big, if not bigger, than the ones from Sonic 3, and encouraged exploration with those giant hidden gold rings, fun and original bosses, as well as bringing back obscure characters like Mighty and Ray with the Encore DLC, and even being able to customize Sonic's unique move with ones from past games if you wanted. And I neglected to mention this in my Sonic Mania video, but an amazing soundtrack that was created by T. Lopes, who actually used the soundtrack from Sonic CD as inspiration for it. Just, all in all, it's the ultimate classic Sonic experience to me, and that's my ranking for all the classic Sonic games I've covered so far. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? Which I'm sure some of you do somewhere. I can already hear the typing. But what classic Sonic game would you put as your favorite or least favorite? Let me know in the comment section down below. I would love to hear from you. And with that being said, I'll see you all next time for Sonic Adventure. Thanks so much for watching.